Hey everybody, welcome back to Jackson Jet Setting. Today we are heading out on an excursion from the MSC Divina in Nassau, Bahamas out to Blue Lagoon, which is a private island experience not too far away from the cruise ships. Ran me about $65 for the day, and I was excited to see what this paid private island really felt like. So stay tuned till the end of the video to see all what you can do here during your cruise vacation. Blue Lagoon features that amazing blue water that's in the name, as well as some animal experiences, so make sure you're buying the right ticket when you are on board. Make sure you're not missing out on any fun activities that you wanted to participate in. Now let's join me back on the MSC Divina before my excursion. Alright, it is day 2, the only full day of this voyage on the MSC Divina. We're heading into Nassau right now. We haven't docked quite yet. Got a 9:45 tour of the Blue Lagoon. Scored like 30% off in the app. Kind of a last minute booking since my other tour that I had booked separate from the ship actually canceled on me. It's ended up being cheaper. Get to go to a private island for the day. Here it's a popular excursion. Excited to actually go and check this place out and see how it is, see if it's worth it for what is basically $60. Nice little breakfast up on the buffet and paid a little extra for an Americano. Love that there are espresso machines all over this ship. And a quick little stop in the theater, and I was on my way on my excursion. Don't actually see the guy that we're following, but I think I'm going the right direction. Apparently I'm bus 5, though I don't know where we're taking a bus to. This is actually like a private island. It's also very loud here. I don't know what's coming from the Carnival Magic, but it's loud. A little bit of a chilly day here. A little overcast, hoping that the sun pokes through a bit by the time we get to the island. Looks like it's trying to, so hoping for some sun today. Here we go, a little bit. So then we waited for quite a while in line underneath the new awnings here at Nassau, which is much appreciated. First time using those. Not really going to blame MSC for this one because it seemed like Blue Lagoon was just lining up people from the various ships nearby for all the same excursion. And we got our wristbands, we signed a little waiver, and we were off and ready to go. But it did take quite some time, like 30-45 minutes. A lot of people complaining around me, which was honestly a little annoying, a little overdramatic. I mean, it's just kind of the way it goes with some of these excursions. But a lot of cruise ships walking around here. And we had a long line to get onto the boat, but I managed to kind of sneak my way on to one of them, I guess just for being a single passenger. So we're finally on the boat about 45 minutes after. Now I'd looked at Google Maps before my cruise just to see kind of where Blue Lagoon was. Didn't look like that long of a trip. Did love the harbor views as we departed, and when we got out into open ocean, it was pretty choppy, and I was in the very wrong seat. I was getting absolutely blasted by water, but no big deal. And it was a cool, dramatic entrance into Blue Lagoon. Love that stone that it kind of cut through to make the lagoon, it seems like, and a cool little harbor in here. So very unique destination, and overall not a big deal of a trip. I just think if you have anything that you want to keep dry, I would definitely have a dry bag with you just in case you do have choppy seas like I did. All right, so we made it, but you can see it was a little bit of a wet ride. Chose the wrong seat. It's like definitely the wettest seat on the boat, but we're here to get wet anyway. No big deal. Now there was a 30% discount going on for this excursion on the MSC Divina, which was great. It was about $65 for the day. It included lunch, which I thought was nice. Knew that I would be paying for drinks once I got here, so no big deal there. Didn't really know what the drink prices would be like. Expected kind of Bahamas prices, which are a little bit higher, I think, than other Caribbean destinations. So I wanted to go explore the island first thing, show you guys exactly what there is to do on the island. So let's go do that. So we're coming off of the main pier at Blue Lagoon, a few shops. It's kind of the main area of Blue Lagoon where the shops, restaurants, most of the bars are. Little map here for you just to get your bearings on the island. Nice little walking paths here. This is similar to like a private island that you would visit with a cruise ship, just a lot smaller. You can also pay a little extra and do some animal encounters. They have dolphins, sea lions, stingrays, and even sharks. So you got to book that probably in advance, though if they have some extra space, I'm sure they'll absolutely oblige and sell you that extra space.
Otherwise, you're gonna be hanging on the beach pretty much all day. Have a few activities, of course, around. Some rum tastings, which I participated in. That was all free. Obviously, you could buy some rum if you like it. A lot of different options here for the day. You're here for about 5 or 6 hours, depending on when your excursion leaves. You don't really have control over that. They put you on the same boat for each ship. So just know that going in, you're kind of stuck here until they want to take you back to the boat. Rising Tides is to the left there. That's the main restaurant. That's where your free buffet is in the afternoon. We'll check that out in a little bit, so stay tuned to the end of the video to see what the food looked like. Overall, love the look of the island. It was a little overcast when I first got there. Sun came out a little later. But a really pretty island, really nice beaches. I really love the color of the Bahamas water, just that really, really bright blue. That's like that classic blue that you're just looking for on any cruise vacation. So if you're looking for that, Blue Lagoon is true to its name. Now, there was an adults only experience that I didn't participate in. That one was a lot more expensive than my discounted tour. But if you cross this bridge here, it'll take you to the adults only beach, which has just a much more private feel to it. It's away from the families. It's gonna be a more relaxing day. So I do recommend maybe purchasing that if you are an adult just looking to escape a little bit. So you do have that option. Just wanted to point that out. Here's a good look at the Blue Lagoon itself. So if you notice, it kind of creeps in from the other side of the island and then exits out where we came in on the boat. And there's a good look at the adults only beach. One thing to note is umbrellas and beach chairs are all included in any ticket that you buy to get to Blue Lagoon, which is really great. It kind of reduces the hassle there. It was pretty easy for me to find a chair, though I think if you have a larger group, you may want to seek those out first thing. Heading back to the main part of the island, this is the DJ booth. It's also where they're making announcements throughout the day of what's going on at the island. They have a number of different hammocks around this area, some games to play on the beach too. Cool area to hang out if you're looking to maybe avoid some sun. Now we're on the other end of the island. This is where the animal experiences are. Unfortunately, they were all kind of closed off. I think the animal experiences were going on, but wouldn't allow me to go walk over and just take a look at what the dolphins look like. So fortunately, had to go just find my spot on the beach, grab some beers, and enjoy myself for the rest of the day. Now you can see the sun popping out and just how beautiful the water is here at Blue Lagoon. Unfortunately for me, I did not put nearly enough sunscreen on, so I was pretty burned from this day here on Blue Lagoon. Not Blue Lagoon's fault, it's completely my fault. I even had an umbrella going on, so normally not getting that burned on vacation and normally pretty good about putting sunscreen on. So fortunately that happened to me. Just know from me and from experience, you don't want to lather on that sunscreen when you're coming to Blue Lagoon. It was also about lunchtime. Lunch ran from about 11 to 2:30, I believe. So that fit in perfectly with my plans. I decided to kind of let the early lunch rush go and have a late lunch. Had a late breakfast before getting off the ship too. So I headed over to the Rising Tide after having a few beers on the beach. Got a bucket of beers for about $40, which is not cheap, but also not the worst thing that's ever happened to me either. So I was happy to try out some of these Bahamian beers that were really delicious, and waited about 20 minutes for food, but the food itself was really great. Some good sweet plantains here, a nice little chicken sandwich, some barbecue chicken, and had another beer. Soon it was time to depart the island, and this boat at least had a second level, so I made sure to beeline it up there, though the seas had definitely calmed down a lot from the morning. I did not get wet on the way back, and I really loved how the guides pointed out all the really fancy mansions on Paradise Island that some of the celebrities owned. So that was really cool. Just some massive homes and some beautiful golf looking like there on Paradise Island, which is where Atlantis is. If you are thinking about doing Atlantis while you're in Nassau, please check out my full video tour on the channel. I also have a video up on Bahamas, and we'll have a few more Nassau specific videos coming shortly. We've been to Nassau many times now at this point. I feel like we've done pretty much all of the major activities here on the island. And it's a nice stop. You're probably going to be going here if you're going on a Bahamas cruise, so better watch some of those videos, make sure that you're getting the most out of your time here on the island.
Gentlemen, over to the right of you, we're coming up on a Whitehall Glass Windows. That is the home of G.J. Kelly, another one. Nights. And that is for a minimum of 4 nights.
Now, all the boats from Excursions are going to drop you off on the far end of the Nassau cruise port, so you have a chance to walk through the shops and restaurants on the way back to your ship. Just know that in advance, there might be a little bit longer of a walk on the way back from your excursion than the one that you had coming off of the ship in the morning. Quick little walk back on board the ship and cleared security, and I headed straight up to the water slide. I wanted to make sure I was 47.24 inches, which is just hilarious. But I wanted to ride the water slide and film it for you guys, so here's what that water slide looks like. Overall, really loved this slide. Lots of twists and turns, pretty disorienting. So it's nice that MSC has this on board. Felt like the iPhone did a pretty good job of filming this too. Carnival Magic was parked right next to us. That classic Carnival funnel there. Unmistakable that this is a Carnival ship. Next, it was time for the specialty restaurant Butcher's Cut after I got washed up. Had the dining experience, so I had a set menu to choose from. Some delicious breads were brought out for me. And then I had the burrata and beet salad along with a nice Chianti that I ordered, which was very reasonably priced. A delicious appetizer. I was thinking there would be more beets though. I was kind of going for more of a healthy option, but you know, gotta eat it anyway. No big deal. Nice little New York strip steak, cooked to perfection with some side of asparagus that I ordered. That's all included. And some really good sauces like some chimichurri, some red wine reduction, some béarnaise, and then delicious flourless chocolate cake for dessert. Overall, a really delicious dinner on board. I do recommend the Butcher's Cut Steakhouse for those looking to pay a little extra for their meals, and then capped it all off with another 80s performance. Some really good singers. Their accents clearly not from the US, so sometimes was like a little interesting, actually added to my enjoyment of the show. But they had really good singers. They were all on key, which I can't always say is the case for cruise ship entertainment. So put on a great show. I liked the LED screen in the background too. Really fun. Just a whole bunch of singing and dancing. Overall, that was my last night on board. I went to bed a little early, and I hope to see you on the next cruise video.